Good morning everybody. The sun is just coming up and we have actually been sailing, or should I say motoring, most of the night from the Sandblast Islands, where we had a really relaxing chill day yesterday, and we're on our way now to Cologne. Normally we stop at an anchorage when we've done this trip, but we decided to just go through the night, take a shift each, and then we'll be there around noon today. The sun is just getting up and it's a glorious day. I don't know what to say. I love being out on the water, and Coconut is getting used to it too. She's done mostly sleeping on this trip, but she's being a good captain overall. I'll show you. Hey Coco.
Yeah.
So Coco's the reason we're actually heading back to Cologne, which is the area in Panama where the Caribbean side of the Panama Canal enters. And we're going there for a few reasons. The first is to take Coconut to Canada, where she's going to get her surgery. She's going to get seen by a vet there, get all more kind of blood tests, checkups, get a microchip, pet passport, all her papers, and yeah, just maybe rest a little bit in a house for a change and hopefully get a little bit stronger as well. The other reason we're going back is so that I can go to Australia and work and save up a bit more money for this old girl that kind of loves that little bit of extra boat work constantly. And then when we get to Cologne, we've booked a marina. So we're going to leave the boat in the marina. She'll be safe there. We're going to have to kind of pack her away and get ready. We haven't left her since we left Canada. So that's going to be something different for us. When we get back to the marina, we have a package waiting for us, which we're excited about. It's a lithium battery that was sent to us by REDODO, so thanks REDODO. One of their reps watches our videos and she saw that we wanted to get air conditioning for Coco, who really doesn't like the heat. And so she messaged asking if we needed more battery to run the air conditioning, which will really help, particularly on those cloudy days. So you don't have to worry if you're not getting much solar charging. And on times like night time and stuff when obviously you're not getting any solar. So an extra bit of battery will really help us. And the other reason it's going to be good is because we use 24-volt system on this boat, but we still have the old 12-volt system partly working for a number of different things, and we haven't changed that. We just use a DC to DC 24-volt to 12-volt converter. So this battery, which is 12 volt, is really going to help. We're going to put all those 12 volt systems onto that, and then the other one will use the normal 24 volt system, and that just helps simplify it, take out the risk of something going wrong with the converter and not being near something that we can fix it. So we're excited to install that. We're going to do that when we get to the marina. We're going to have a little bit of fun too. We're going to start packing the boat away. We've got a little bit of cleaning up to do, as always, and then we're going to set Coco up ready for a flight to Canada. So a little bit of change coming, but it won't be for too long, and then we'll be back on the boat and heading to the Caribbean. But for now, we're gonna sit here, maybe have some breakfast, some tea, enjoy this beautiful experience of being out on the water again. I just love it so much, and I never knew I would before I came out sailing. The reason I wanted to go sailing is because I wanted to travel the world, and here I am doing that, but I'm absolutely loving every moment out on the ocean that we're sailing somewhere. So even motoring as well. We really haven't had much wind here. We're excited to get over to the Caribbean where we've got those like daily trade winds. We're so keen for that. And it will be soon, very soon. But first we need to do a few things that are important for us and will allow us to actually keep going on this trip and not just kind of run out of money or get blocked from entering countries like Aruba and Bonaire. With Coconut. She's going to meet us on the other side in maybe Grenada or St. Vincent, one of those kind of places. But yeah, while I go make myself a cup of tea and get Coconut a snack, how about you enjoy this tremendous sunrise? All right, Coconut's had a little bit of brekkie and she's back fast asleep. Didn't take her long. I've got my tea here, so I'm ready to start having a little bit of a read about this REDODO battery and its specs. But let us know what you think as well. We think it's going to be really, really helpful for a couple of reasons. First, obviously, just to have some extra power stored on the boat for things like the aircon for little Coconut here. And for those rainy, overcast days where we're not getting much solar, we have that extra battery capacity to rely on. And then also to help us go from that 24 volt to 12 volt, not relying on that converter. We can just have a battery for the 24 volt and a battery for the 12 volt.
Don't worry, I'm not taking Piggy anywhere. Good girl, you sleep.
Alright, well, we'll see you soon when we're surrounded probably by a whole bunch of massive ships waiting to enter the Panama Canal. And I'm glad we're not going through the canal today, we just have to dock. Still stressful, but less stressful. We're getting close to the entrance to the Panama Canal now. Captain Coconut's doing a really good job. She had her harness on all night long. You want to sit back down? She's pretty adorable. She loves sitting on top of everything that you put anywhere. But yeah, she had her harness on all night long. I took it off just as the sun came up, just to give her a little bit of a break, as long as she stays with me up here. And she generally likes staying with us when the boat is moving or when the engine is on, so she's really safe. And we've got all the surround done up, so that's got the plastic all down. And so yeah, it's really safe and kind of closed in here in the cockpit, so I think she likes it here. She never ever tries to get out of the cockpit underway, and in fact when we're sitting still in an anchorage, she only comes up when we go up. She pretty much follows us around. She's like a little mini-me's. I feel like that's not comfortable. She likes her little piggy. Don't you? Finished my tea now? Yeah. But we'll put her harness back on when we're getting closer to the marina, just because we won't have all eyes on her and we'll be focused on docking a little bit more. And probably even just when we start having all the boats right around us, which is not too long now. She's doing well. She's a really good boat cat. So Darcy's asleep still, but I might go wake him up soon because we're coming into the area with all the big ships, and it's always nice to have two sets of eyes looking out for which ones are moving. Most of them, from what I can tell, appear to just be anchored. I've been checking on AIS as well. Now that we have it on the chart plotter, it's really nice. I don't have to go inside and check on the different separate kind of screen. So I'll show you what they look like. So you can see the blue there is the radar picking up something in the water. And then the green arrows over the top is our AIS. So you can click on each one and read about them, check their speed. And then it's highlighted a few that are close by at the moment and what direction they look like they're going in. But when you actually go to click on them, you can see, for example, this one, Hermes, is not moving. It's going at 0 knots, but it is 1 nautical mile away from me. And it tells the bearing as well. So it's really cool. I've changed my course a little bit, but I will just hand steer as needed as well. So I'm not sure if you can see those ships. So they're all on the horizon. There's heaps of them and they're just starting now. But little Coco's back to sleep, letting her have a comfy sleep. She's been sitting next to me most of the night, so I've taken her, I think I mentioned I took her harness off because it annoys her just a little bit maybe, but as long as she's sitting right with me, and even when I go inside I bring her in with me, so she's nice and safe. And it's been really calm, no wind, not much waves since I've been up. I think it was different maybe during the night when Darcy was on shift, but that's how it is, I guess. Luck of the draw. Anyway, I'm going to eat my last bit of focaccia and butter and start paying some really close attention to these ships. Sleeping on the job again, eh, Captain Coconut? That's an alarm. AIS dangerous target was detected, and it is referring to this boat Cotonou, but I can see that its speed is 0.0 knots, so it is not moving, it's anchored. And which one is this one? Up to the right, it's that one out there. Here's that almost all these are just anchored here. That one's anchored. There's another alarm. So many boats, so lots of alarms going off. MSC England. It's got its speed at 0.1 knots, but that just means it's anchored and it's about a knot away from us. And this one's just gone green. It's super cool having the boats all on AIS up on the big screen here for us. We used to have to just kind of run inside and check the little screen out the front like all the time. And this is really, really good. Plus, our life jackets, which I don't have right now, but I've been kind of inside and outside, and we've got the whole surround closed and there's no waves and no wind and very calm, but still, I should have it on. The life jackets though, we've bought these things back in Canada that go in the life jacket and become an AIS target if we go in the water. So having that on our main chart plotter here at the helm outside is super important, because it means if one of us were to fall overboard and the other one is steering looking for us, they don't have to run inside to try and determine where that beacon has gone off. It'll appear on our main screen out here, which is really, really helpful. But Coconut seems to be enjoying herself nicely. Time for a quick brush before the harness goes back on and we get ready to head into the marina, dock and open up our new package. Yeah. Brushing, you're licking the brush. What are you licking the brush for? See, you don't have to lick that. You want to lick my finger? Yeah. Oh, you're going to lick yourself now. Good girl. So now she's safe. Even if she jumps down, it's not like too tight. She can get down to the bottom of the cockpit and all around this bit, but not outside the cockpit or inside to the motor. Got a new little favourite spot under the captain's seat now. Yeah, is that good? She likes sitting on the captain's seat, under the captain's seat, around the captain's seat, anywhere near us. It's really good to have her the way she is, where she just likes hanging with us, because I feel like she's always safe when we're on the boat, because she never goes anywhere near the edge by herself. She never goes to the front of the boat when we're not there. She never goes on the swim deck at all, and she's kind of always there with us. It's a good feeling to know that she's not kind of the curious cat that is kind of always slinking off, trying to be on their own or hiding somewhere and we're looking for her and worried. She never ever hides. She's never too far away from us, and she never goes near the edge of the boat in the slightest. And I'm also glad that we've got this really like enclosed cockpit. Yeah, it's great. We seem to have found the perfect boat cat. So there's heaps of big cargo ships here and container ships, but they're all anchored, so it's quite easy maneuvering around through them all. And there's quite a lot, but there's plenty of space in between them. So that's about as close as we really need to get to them at the moment anyway. Got to pay even more attention once we're entering the kind of entrance to the Panama Canal, because there will be more movement there. Still not much movement though, because they know when to go in and out. But yeah, it can be funny how difficult it is to see whether they're moving if you're not really paying attention, because they kind of look the same, but they can move really fast once they get going. So there can be kind of off in the distance, and then you're looking around at the other ones, and then you look back and you're like, was it that close before? And yeah, there's a few telltale signs. Sometimes seeing the smoke coming out the top if they've got the engine going, although some of them have that anyway. I guess there's maybe a generator, I'm not sure. And then waves out the back, but sometimes they're a bit far to see, that sort of thing. Now that we've got the AIS, that's a really good way to tell, because you can see their speed. But you wouldn't want to like just rely on that. Most important is just looking and keeping a good lookout. But yeah, it's exciting being back in the thick of it, being so out in the islands for quite a while now. It's very different. So that boat is called Everlegend, and it's from the company Evergreen. So Evergreen is the overarching company, and then each of the boats have their boat name, which usually starts with Ever. And there was one of those, not the same boat, but one of those was behind us when we went through the canal, or in front of us, I forget. And one of them was the one that got stuck in the Suez Canal. So it's not the same boat. Well, I mean, it could be, but I can't remember what that one was specifically called, the boat name, but it was from that company, Evergreen. So Evergreen, ever present? No. Everlasting? No. I forget. Something. We'll write it here. And it is just anchored there, so not moving. And that's why I went quite close, because there's another one up ahead on our port side, and I'm going in between them. Fun day of sailing. Or without the sailing though, the motoring. The wind currently is 5 knots. Surrounded by ships. Keeping an eye on them. So far I've only seen one of them moving, and it went across in front of us, but at a good distance away. Coco is of course keeping a really good lookout as the captain of the vessel. Fast asleep. Hi, beautiful Coco. Did you just wake up? Hey? What? Did you just wake up? Coco. Coco. I think it's time to go wake Daddy up too. Shall we go get him? Okay, you clean your face first and then we'll go get him, yeah? So as you can see, we're just coming into the entrance of the Panama Canal. Here's the channel well marked here, and here is the marina over here, and here are our previous paths into the marina, so we can follow those if we like. And here's us. And then out here you can see the big boats all anchored. So yeah, it's awesome having the AIS. All right, time to go wake Darcy up. And this little coconut has just woken up, haven't you?
Well, I was unceremoniously woken up, but we're here, basically. We're at the entrance to the Panama Canal. We're actually technically in the entrance to the Panama Canal right now. We have AIS alarms going off all over the place because we have our threat limit set to 2 nautical miles, and there's tons of ships within 2 miles of us. John, I can't thank you enough. John helped us fix the AIS. Not fix, but I was screwing it up, and he helped us install it so that we could get AIS on the chart plotter out here before we had to like go in there. So thanks heaps, John, again and again and again. So yeah, we're pretty much there. We're pretty much at Shelter Bay Marina, and we just got to radio them and ask them what slip we are, and whether it's a stern or whether it's a port tie or a starboard tie. Actually, port or starboard tie. That's
and
better.
hopefully not a stern tie.
Yeah. So yeah. Oh man, it's. I'm so happy we went through the night. Saved us so much time. Another AIS alarm.
Little Coconut is sleeping with her head up. That's her specialty. Uh-oh, did I just wake you?
And I'll show you the AIS alarms.
I have already.
Oh. If it's been done already, it's been done already. That's what you get for sleeping on the job.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, go ahead for Supernova. Port side, I think. Okay, we're gonna be tied port side. I can't really hear anything else. I'll give you a call when we get a little bit closer. We're about 5 minutes out.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure I heard port side.
Okay, that's the side we never do. We'll change the fenders and dot lines then.
Change all the things.
Should I bring that one a bit back then?
Yeah, where is it? Bring it one back. Bring it to the stand-up paddleboard holder. And then we'll be fine.
So we've just checked into the marina and they were nice enough to bring our parcels already down to the boat. I don't know if you saw us docking, but man, it was crazy. It was hectic. The wind was so blowing, super heavy, super hard. It was like 5 knots.
It was coming on the beam.
It was. I don't know. It felt really, really strong for 5 knots. It was a really strong 5 knots. Anyway, we're in safely next to a beautiful, nice boat that we did not hit.
Just.
Yeah. We've got our beautiful presents here.
So what we have is, this is the 400 amp hour lithium battery. And then this is going to be the charge controller that they sent us and a battery monitor as well.
All right, I reckon we just get straight into it.
Oh, this is going to be hyped. This is so amazing. I can't even believe this.
I'll take these, you can take that one.
Deal. If this was a lead acid battery, we wouldn't even be able to pick it up, like at all.
Okay, so we got everything unpacked. Coco heard that this was her battery and that it was sent for her. And so now she owns it. So we'll leave that for now. So they also sent us a battery monitor. So that's this thing. And it's tiny. It's just this little thing right here. And all you do is connect your negative side to that before it goes to the battery. And then there's 1 or 2 other, I think there's you connect this. And it's super simple, looks super simple to set up. I haven't set it up yet. But that's gonna be cool because we don't have a battery monitor on board, which is awesome. And then they also sent us an MPPT solar charge controller. And look at this thing. Give me a second to pull it out. This thing is big. And you might be thinking, oh, well, I don't want like a massive one. The bigger they are, the better they are at dispersing heat. And so the heat guards in the back are heat guards. Diffusers, I think they're called, on the back are just absolutely massive. So this is, again, haven't used it yet, but I think it's going to be really, really good. And so we're going to set up this and the battery monitor at a later date. We're going to focus on getting the battery installed. I should put this back before I lose it with the instructions. We're going to focus on getting the battery installed today, and we'll do this stuff another day. So I've built these wires already. And basically just put big lugs on them, and then the shrink tube, and then I've also taped them because you're supposed to put, I believe, ABC, AYBC, I forget, the standards company that does standards for boats. They make it, instead of black wires now for negative, it is yellow wires for negative. So that's why we put yellow tape on this. And we kind of have been trying to do that with all our wires. And then the lugs are really, really simple. So some people have like a giant like clamps or whatever that you use for the lugs, and it takes up a ton of space. This thing was cheap. I think it was like 35 or 40 bucks, and it's hydraulic. It puts like 10 tons of force on when you're doing the lugs. And essentially just put the lug in between here, and then you ratchet this down, and it closes, and it crushes the lug on, and it is absolutely amazing. It's super easy. And I don't know why everyone doesn't have one of these. If you're doing a lot of electrical work, that is, instead of those really big ones. And it just packs up neatly in this thing, and it has a bunch of different sizes. So that's what I used to build all of these wires. So the battery. Am I allowed to? What if I give you a boop? Boop. Okay. So this is our big battery. This battery is huge. It's 410 amp hours at 12 volts, and it's absolutely massive. And you would think it would be significantly heavier than it is, but it's not. And we checked it out, and the REDODO batteries are insanely cheap compared to a lot of the other lithium batteries you can buy. And they have their own BMS, which again we haven't tested yet, but they developed their own BMS, so that's good. And they have a ton of stuff that seems like it would be really good. So we're going to install it. We're going to check it out. If this install goes well, and if we like these batteries, or this battery, we'll put an affiliate link in the description. And if you buy a battery through that link, you get a 5% discount. And then we also get 5% through that. It doesn't cost you any extra, but that 5%, I believe, will be going to somebody special, and that's this little girl. So we'll put that affiliate link down below if we like this battery. And yeah, I've never had a battery like this. It's got caps here instead of the posts. It's got screw-in caps, so you just use this and screw it in here. And so that seems like it's going to be a lot easier to kind of put together, and nothing's going to come loose. The other thing we have, which we pulled up from the depths of the boat, is this 2000 watt power inverter. So we're going to hook this up as a separate bank. Right now we run a 24 volt battery bank on the boat, but we do have a lot of 12 volt loads. And so with those 12 volt loads, we have a 24 to 12 volt DC to DC converter. And oh, goodbye, Cokes. She's gonna move 2 steps.
Good stretch.
Good stretch and a good sit.
She wants pride of place in front of the camera.
Yeah. So what we have is basically a DC to DC converter. So it takes that 24 volt power and it turns it to 12 volt power. And we still have a lot of the boat, like a lot of the legacy systems, some of the lights and stuff running off of 12 volt. And we've had issues with that before because the 12 volt, the DC to DC converter, I guess we didn't get the best one. And so we've already gone through one of them. And the other one, the voltages are kind of getting a bit high on it, which isn't good. So this is going to completely change everything. It's going to make the boat a lot safer because instead of having a converter, we'll have a full 12 volt system, and it's eventually going to be set up so that if need be, this can charge the main battery, or the main batteries can charge this as well. And we're going to be able to power pretty much anything off of this massive 200 watt inverter. It goes up to 4,000 watts max. So, and then we have our fuse, because everything has to be done safely. Bye, Cokes. So we have a 300 amp fuse that we're going to be putting in. So I guess let's get to it. We have a spot cleared out. We know exactly where this is going. We cannot wait, and hopefully it should be a fairly quick install, because it's just going to be, for now, drop it into place and hook up a couple of hookups, and it should be gravy.
Yeah, I'm excited to have more battery.
Oh
and
man.
Coco's really going to enjoy that because she loves the air conditioning.
Yeah, what this will allow us to do, what this battery will allow us to do is when we get to maximum power on our batteries, and we're not able to take in any more solar, we can make sure this is fully charged. And we're always nervous about running the air conditioning at night, but this can run the air conditioning for quite a while. And so as long as this is fully charged, we can just use this to kind of run the AC at night. And then it doesn't matter if the next day is cloudy or we don't get a lot of solar charging, because we don't have working alternators. We don't have really any method of charging except for a tiny generator that does, it says it does 1,000 watts, but in practice it really does 700. So it's going to be amazing to be able to actually use the AC at night without being super nervous about everything. Couple last things I'll tell you is that they do have a 30-day return policy, so if you don't like it, you don't have to keep it if it doesn't work for you. And then the one thing that really sold us, and we called the phone number at 2 o'clock last night, but the memory card got corrupted, so apologies for that. But they do have a 24-hour service number, and they did pick up. They actually picked up at like 2 in the morning Panama time. I don't know what time that is anywhere, so that's absolutely amazing. But we can't thank REDODO enough for this battery and what it's going to mean for us and what it's going to mean for Coco. She loves sitting in front of the AC, and the AC is going to be on significantly more with this bad boy. And it's also going to allow us to put a little bit more solar in as well. So it's going to be awesome. Have I talked too much? I've talked way too much.
Let's get to some action.
Okay. Action montage. Two. But I don't want to connect these until this is in place.
All right, let's go downstairs into the hull.
Yeah.
So I just came down to the hull because I had to change the camera battery, and he's almost done installing it.
It's not a difficult install because it's just temporary. We're just putting it in here for now, and we're gonna completely integrate it into the power system in a little bit when we hook everything else up. So it's just like 6 connections, or even less than that right now, because we don't have the battery monitor on. I thought there was going to be a spark. Crazy hot down here. The AC doesn't reach into any of the bedrooms yet. So in theory, I should just be able to turn it on now. So I guess you had to press the power button twice. That made me nervous. Okay, what do we test it with? All right, I have a vacuum here. I believe it's gonna work, but
It was already switched on.
let me just switch that off. And let's see if this vacuum works. It works! Man, that was like a super quick install. I know it's not in like its final place and everything, and the wires are all gonna get cleaned out. We have a perfect spot for it. In fact, I'll show you the perfect spot. Follow me. Let me just unplug this. Probably need this light. So if you don't mind our clothing right here hanging to dry, we have a clothesline that runs in the hall here.
For when it's raining too much and we really need to wash.
So we have, this is a food storage that we put in not too long ago. Oh, this is in Mexico. That was too long ago. So we installed this in Mexico. There was an old fridge here. We still have to clean it up with everything else that we've partially done in this boat. But there's really good food storage up here. This contains like all our potatoes and stuff, which currently contains nothing. And then it's tons and tons and tons of storage. But on the bottom side of our food storage is just a bunch of oil jugs. And we really stocked up on oil jugs before leaving Canada because we we were told oil was expensive in Mexico, and it was. So we don't need to carry as much oil as we currently do. So when we do our next oil change, which is coming up in a little bit here, we'll be able to get rid of most of this stuff here, and the battery is going to go in here on floor level, so it's above the floorboard, so it won't get wet. Not that it gets wet below the floorboards, but just in case the worst were to happen.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's gonna tuck in here. It's gonna be perfect.
And then those wires run just to here, which is where it currently is, where we've just installed it. So
yeah. So it's not going to go too far. We're going to have the inverter there as well. And we have luckily, we bought a switch that switches us from shore power to battery power, but we bought one that has 3 as well. So it does shore power, battery power, and generator, or another battery bank. And we're going to use it for the other battery bank. So that's going to be huge for us. Like, I don't know if you can see me like dripping with sweat right now, but the AC doesn't really do a whole lot. It takes the edge off. It does a decent amount in the day, but at night it does so much. But we've always been really, really nervous about using it. But now we're not going to be. It's going to be amazing, and we're going to have AC at night, and I'm going to sleep so much better.
Yeah.
On that, we should show them the AC we got.
Yeah. So when we rocked up at this dock, the people across from us told us, just literally just as we arrived.
Who are the people across from us?
Sailing Gypsy, who we love,
cool.
and we've been watching for years and years. So it was awesome to just randomly pull up, get docked, and then say hello to the people across from us, which were Sailing Gypsy.
And they're on their new boat, and we can't tell you what that boat is because they've only announced that they're buying a new boat, but they're on their new boat. It's going to be super cool.
I think by the time this is out, they will have said, otherwise we won't say anything.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was super cool to meet them, and they mentioned to us that the guy that runs this place had an air conditioning unit for sale. They just happened to mention it, which was perfect timing. So we went up literally 5 minutes after we had docked here and went and bought a new air conditioning unit. It's one of the ones that cools via the water rather than via the air. So it's going to be awesome. It's going to work even better than what we have currently.
Yeah, we'll show it to you right now. So Coco got super bored of my long chat, but that's okay. This is our current AC. It's installed right here. This is taking up a ton of storage, and there's an air vent, a single air vent that goes out of the boat over there. We'll show you in a second. And it was cheap. It was well, not cheap. It didn't hurt that bad compared to what it gave us. A boat AC unit is like some of them are like $5,000. They get really expensive. We were looking, the one we were gonna get was about I think around $3,000, and we had like not bought so many things so we could get like a proper AC system. But this system isn't very inefficient, and like it gives off heat itself. Efficient. Yeah, it isn't very efficient. Mm-hmm. It gives off heat itself. And then it has to cool down the heat it gives off. The other one is water cooled, so it'll do much better. So take you outside.
And we got a deal for the portable one. It was only a couple $100, but the best deal of all was this one.
Oh no, the welding stuff is everywhere.
So this one was $500, which is a super duper good deal for our boat air conditioning. And it was because it was on a boat show boat.
Yeah, so flip them around, we'll show you. This is basically brand new. It's only been installed for a single boat show, and it was installed on a Lagoon 40. And basically what happened was the Lagoon 40 had like 7 ACs installed, and I guess that's so when you go into the boat and the boat show, you're like, oh, well, this is amazing. And then you're like in all this AC, and like it's even with the doors open and stuff, it's cold. Which I guess sells boats because they do it. But it was only used for that purpose. It comes with a soft start, which is amazing. So it's easier on the electrical system when it starts up. It doesn't take like a ton of power. And it's the exact size we were looking for. And it cost $500. He only asked for $500. So unbelievable, absolutely like, oh, this is gonna be amazing. And I can't wait. So we're gonna leave the boat soonish. We're doing we have the last like couple days of things before we leave.
Hence all the washing everywhere.
Yeah.
Trying to get everything ready.
And we're trying to get everything ready. So as soon as I get back, we're gonna install this bad boy, and it's gonna be good. And I'm gonna do it in a way that it can cool the bedroom only, or it can cool the saloon area only. So that's gonna be absolutely amazing. Can't wait for it. I didn't know that I needed AC, but I absolutely need AC. Like, it's completely integral. Oh, I know what we can do next.
What?
Let's pull off some plastic. You wanted to do that forever.
Yes, in the galley, is that what you're talking about?
In the galley.
Okay.
We'll meet you guys in the galley.
I was just thinking to show, so this is our little tiny generator that we bought in Alaska when we had absolutely no sun for almost 2 weeks.
So everyone has the Honda 2000s. This is a Honda 1000, and it barely puts out enough charge at max charge to charge our batteries, because the charger that we have for the batteries, you have to have at least 7.5 amps at 120 volts, and this can barely put it enough at like max throttle to charge. But we figured, what's the point of buying one that's twice the size, twice the weight, when we literally never use it? So we've used it in Alaska, and we've used it once, I think once or twice after that, but 100% good. And it's tiny, it takes up no space, it's worth great for us.
I can carry it everywhere.
Yeah, and so easy to refuel and everything.
But we should hardly need it now because of our new battery.
Yeah.
It's basically just pretty much redundant, or an extreme backup if ever needed.
Yeah, and we're probably gonna keep this for maybe the next year, and after that, if we don't use it in the next year, we're gonna get rid of it, because at some point we're gonna get our alternators working. I don't know when, but at some point in the next year, we will get alternator power, and for the first time on this boat, have alternators that work.
We just need to find an alternator guru. Or we have maybe one idea left.
Yeah, we have one idea left. It's the regulator, the external regulator. But anyway, let's do your thing in the galley, because you've been waiting to do that forever.
Yes, good idea. So the next thing we want to do, and I've been wanting to do this for a really long time, is to take off all the sticky plastic stuff on our galley.
I'm like an old man. I don't allow things. Oh, like Cokes. Getting her food dish. I don't allow plastic to be removed because it could damage it later.
But I put my foot down, so we're removing this. And we had actually been able to write on it because the plastic was on. So we had written here, we'd written hatches, coolant, and starter battery, because we often forget those when we're about to head somewhere. And so this reminded us. So we won't be able to have that written on the plastic anymore, but everywhere where the white is actually whiteboard. So we can write on it and rub it off. So we should probably remember the coolant again. Because ours leaks.
Hatches.
Hatches, because we forget to close them, and then rain comes in and water from when we're underway. And the starter battery we always forget to recharge. Even when we came back into the water off the hard, we couldn't get our boat moving because the starter battery wasn't charged. Yeah, that was really embarrassing.
That was my fault.
So yeah, I'm sure there's a bunch of other things we're supposed to check when we get going, but that'll start the list off. Anyway, we can rub them off once we get properly in our brain that we need to check these things.
Yeah, so they're staying forever. And so if you notice how much white there is in the kitchen, you can see all that written on there.
That's some boat jobs that we've been...
Yeah, these are all the boat jobs.
Here we could put, you know, food that we run out of and we need to buy next time. Or who knows what. Stuff on strong. This has been annoying me for so long.
I think it's made everything safe and protected everything.
From me.
Oh, look at that. That is satisfying. Well, it was satisfying until I got caught in the end there. Ooh, what about that little corner of the door?
This one?
Oh, no, that one will be like the dream to take off because it's filthy.
Yeah.
It's harder to clean the plastic than you think it is. Ooh, this is just
This has been a long time coming.
I'm having a mini heart attack.
Been what, like over a year, well over a year I think now since we put this on.
Yeah. Whew.
Yay.
Let me just take care of this little bit up there.
Oh, this is a big one.
Oh, down there even.
I feel like this is a big thing for us.
For me, yeah. I feel like you were ready to do this like a year ago.
We were ready. I was ready the day we put it on. But what I mean is it's kind of signifying that we're coming close to the end of our refit.
That's funny. You're funny.
Don't worry, I know we'll never be finished, but
I hope we're gonna finish the major job soon. We got a big refit coming up that we're gonna do in the next little bit here.
yeah.
So that'll make for some we'll make some good videos out of that. Maybe just one big refit video and try and cram everything into 1 week.
Yeah, that'll be good, but easier said than done.
Yeah. You get the point?
I think it's time to celebrate.
Oh yeah? Is that why in the morning there are these right here?
Yeah. So we've been having some Balboas, but at the marina we found these Atlas Golden Lights, and they're my favorite. They're kind of like Coronas, but the Panamanian version.
And it is the morning, but it was a big step for us taking that stuff off. And how useful is it to be able to write absolutely anywhere where you see white? Like,
yeah, and then
like
rub it off.
Yeah, look how easy that was. It's gone. Oh man.
Now we need to start actually ticking some of these boat jobs off. A huge thanks to all of you who watch us, and especially all our patrons. Hope you all have a beautiful week, and we'll catch you all next Friday.
See you next Friday.